Hey, this is Bryce Johnson from Expedition Bigfoot. You're listening to the Paranormal Zone.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Hey there, ponderers of the paranormal. You are in the Paranormal Zone, your place for all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Koffenberg, and I am joined, as always, by my... Oh, wait. I am not joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, Mr. Mike Carbonell, because this is a special release. Yes, this is a Patreon exclusive episode that we are now publishing to you. We hope you enjoy it. This is just a sample of some of the content that is available exclusively on our Patreon page. This was a good one. We decided to act out a conversation with a ghost. Yes, you heard me correct on that one. Big thanks to my co-host with the ghost, Mr. Mike Carbonell, for another terrific and, may I say, mind-bending discussion on the paranormal, the afterlife, spiritual evolution, let's see, the peak of enlightenment, not to mention some of our usual silly and hilarious banter, plus a glimpse into our methods of madness when it comes to creating our own artwork, which is available exclusively through our Patreon page. Plus, so much more. Now, before I let you go, I ask you this. What would you ask a ghost?
Occurrences just beyond the reach of understanding.
Hey there, ponderers of the paranormal and Patreon pals. How are y'all doing this evening? How are you doing this evening? Mike, my co-host with the ghost, the paranormal poster boy himself. How are you doing, sir? It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, I guess, I suppose.
Wow.
Too, as well. No, I'm just kidding.
That kind of...
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm hurt and I'm cut
You're
now.
hurt now.
you cut me to the bone there a little bit there. That was harsh. I guess.
I take it back.
Well, it's too late for that. You already inflicted the pain, and now it's time for me to suffer. So
yeah. Well, I know. I got you back for yelling at me the other night.
You did. I know. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember what that was about, but
you said you called me a disciplinarian. And that bothered me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, because I said something like, just don't speak when this audio is playing because it's going to come across as really loud.
And you said it friendly enough, so I guess
Well, apparently not friendly enough because you got offended, and you were just nasty the rest of the evening.
One of us, we need to decide which one of us is the more sensitive, and then the other one has to be more careful.
I'm probably the more sensitive one. Probably.
I know what words not to say around you, so
yeah. Oh gosh, tell me about it. Only the people closest to me know exactly how to cut straight to where it hurts, man, and that's how it works out, unfortunately, sometimes. But in all sincerity, it is good to see you. a warning to our listeners. We are suffering, speaking of suffering, some connection problems yet again here, but we're going to forge through them and hopefully it will seem seamless. Seem seamless. So fingers crossed that this is going to be a problem-free Patreon episode. So I guess we can just dive right into it, huh? Unless you have anything rambling, any I guess philosophical rants, rambling takes on life that just you want to get off your chest, Mike.
Philosophical rants.
I
I do have a question.
Oh, yes. Fire it away. Fire away.
Have you yet decided on what podcast related piece of artwork you're going to do? Because I have already started mine.
Oh, I know. Mike did start yesterday. He sent me a picture of a very rough, preliminary sketch of Annalise and her. Is that the photo that was taken after she passed away, or is that when she was still?
No, that's when she was before she passed away. But I'm thinking about incorporating the photograph of her after she did pass away, kind of connect them together in some way as kind of a montage of.
Sure. Yeah.
And I remember when we were texting yesterday and I had said to you, well, I'm going to go spend some time with Annalise. And I thought, oh, that was kind of a strange way to put that.
That didn't sound right. But I understood what you meant. I understood what you meant. And
so hopefully this whole. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that was the likeness, even though it was a very rough sketch, the likeness was spot on. You could definitely tell that you, well, if you're familiar with that photo, you would recognize it immediately. Because I was like, oh gosh, yeah. And I can picture your creative mind going nuts. I mean, Mike is different than me when it comes to his art, and that's good, obviously, because everyone to each their own. But I say to Mike, in all sincerity, he's like the true art student almost. He sits there and he has a method to his madness that he just follows all the time. He sits there and he meditates on his ideas. He studies. He gets into that state of mind. And
I do really deep research on any
deep research.
I do.
You just put your whole self into it, 100%. And I just and I'm not lessening the meaning of art to me, but I just start something and I see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, that's a fantastic thing too. I mean,
I hope
and that's not always an easy thing to do.
Well, really. Mike, I have never, ever done preliminary sketches. Never, and I just start something and I have such a weird style of doing it. And you're the same. You're the same. I know, like when it comes to doing the portraits and the faces, we don't sit there and do where we draw the outline of the human head and then put the lines, the line.
Yeah,
divide it down the middle and show where his eye line is going to be, where the nose is going to be. I have never ever done that. That's like the art school way of doing it. I always start with the eye. If I can get an eye, then
the center like that is perfect.
Yep.
To start with.
Exactly.
But I dig real deep, and when I'm doing a really getting in seriously into a piece of artwork, it's like I can feel it. I can sense it. It's like it becomes a part of me, actually. I mean, it can get pretty crazy. I mean, if I'm doing a really serious piece, and I hope with this Annalise, it doesn't become some kind of a obsession for a few months or whatever. Not that it's going to take a few months for me to finish this piece, but
no, not by any means.
It's like, you don't want to dig into this subject too much.
Mike, I can see for our listeners out there, Mike was like gritting his teeth right there. He was
it's like I'm feeling it right now.
He's feeling it. You can see it in his face.
Yeah.
So what was the last, and we do have okay, I'll throw out the topic right here because believe it or not, we do have a focus for this episode. It changed multiple times as per usual. No surprise there. This literally, we literally chose this topic, an hour and 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. After the other one that was chosen, and then I get a text from Patrick. I'm not feeling it.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what. Do you get disappointed? Do you get mad when I do stuff like that?
No, I just know that whatever we do come up with, it's going to be good. So
I seriously wasn't feeling it, man. I'm not going to reveal what we were thinking of because I would like to do something.
Well, yeah, we will do something like that about that. Yeah.
But in all sincerity, I do, as it might sound lame, might sound cheesy, I do have to feel it for the topic. You know, it's if something, if I feel engrossed by it, if I feel like I am, at the very least, interested by it, that helps so much, as opposed to like these other things where where it feels so forced. And I'm like, oh God, well, I got to think of something right now, and I just can't do it. So,
yeah, it makes it much better, much easier. You can flow with it and have more fun with it and do better for the listeners.
And this topic tonight is, I simply wrote down conversation with a ghost, and we thought we could go any number of ways with this. And what I thought of as well, what we both thought of this, it's not just me. We bantered back and forth. I was like, Mike, how about we just do just an off the cuff? You take the position of a ghost. You kind of put yourself into that realm of existence, because if either of us can do that, it's you.
Okay. Is it because of my pastiness?
It is. That's the only reason.
Does I look more like a ghost?
That's the only reason. Absolutely. But I thought it'd be kind of interesting. I have some questions. I'll look up some other stuff, and we'll just have like a conversation. And I want Mike, you, to answer truthfully from the point of view of a ghost based on how you feel. You know, how would you answer them if you were said ghost? You know?
Do I need to get my chains out? Do I have to throw in a whoo?
No.
Once in a while?
Well, that's not,
I'm dead.
Weird ghost.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you need to do that. I think it'd be pretty interesting. So,
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
And I have one more question about artwork now.
Okay.
What piece of art that you've done throughout your life do you say, what pops to your head first out of all your artwork pieces that you got into the most? Did you know what I mean by that? Which one sticks with you still to this day, or have you moved on from all of them?
Oh no,
those ones stand out more than the others.
Absolutely, there's two that I did together as one project, and both of them were huge projects. And that was, of course, the Titanic.
Yes.
And that was a huge project that turned out so fantastic.
God, I wish I could have seen that thing, man.
I did that for that band. That was they Wallace Hartley and the Titanics.
Yes,
was the name of them out of Fargo.
What a name!
And then I did that. Yeah, and I did that beautiful portrait of Wallace Hartley. I mean, they were both just. I mean, very proud of them. I didn't make prints of them. I gave them the originals. Well, didn't give them to them. They were going to pay me, but instead, I met them at the bar where they were playing one night. Gave it to them, and they bought me drinks.
Oh,
at the bar.
Good Lord.
But they still said they were going to pay me, but they never did.
I know. And we talked about this so long ago because it's such a small world. I think it was my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, who knew like a band member from Wallace Hartley and the Titanics. And we're like, oh my gosh, can you somehow track them down maybe?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my gosh, all that work gone into that, and all you got was beer?
Hours and hours of work.
Oh man. Did you take any photos of your drawing? Do you have any?
No, not even photos. I will never do that again. I mean, yeah. They would have been just as well off with copies, printed copies, and I could have still had those, but
I know I've asked you this before. What medium did you use for those drawings, and what style did you use?
That was pen and ink, and I believe I used some color, very little color, very subdued color with colored pencil.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right.
Sweet.
But mostly it was pen and ink.
And was it like a profile shot of the ship? Like
no. Yeah, more of a profile, kind of a slight angle profile.
Was okay, like the ship was kind of coming towards you a little bit, maybe?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And if you look up Wallace Hartley, if you Google an image search for Wallace Hartley, you'll definitely see it. It was in an oval frame, and
yep, I'm familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah. So that was the portrait that I did, and they both turned out so great. I was so proud of them.
Man, if you had that, I mean, just as our listeners know, and you know, I'm a Titanic nut, and I would have loved to have had those, man. But if there's somehow, we need to send out the vibes, Mike. We need to somehow get those pieces of work back to you so you can at least
Boy, that would be amazing.
Get some prints made of them and stuff.
It'd be amazing because they were going to use them actually for posters and album covers, but I don't believe they ever did.
Have you ever done a Google search on Wallace Hartley and the Titanics?
No, that's an idea.
Maybe you could find some. Maybe you could find a picture of your artwork. Maybe they did.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'll do that later tonight.
Yeah,
I did do a portrait of Laurel and Hardy all at once, and all in black and white, all in dots, and it was big too. And I did that for my uncle in Canada.
Really?
Because my dad wanted I guess he's a big Laurel and Hardy fan, and my dad wanted me to do it for him, and my dad gave it to him, and I gladly gave him the original. And
very cool.
I guess I don't know if he still has it up on the wall, but my dad said that when he was there last, which it still would have been years ago, he said that he saw it on the wall. So
that's always a rewarding
and he
feeling.
really loved it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So actually, you remember the buffalo skull that I painted in Park Rapids? You remember that?
I do.
A lot of Native
yes.
American artwork on it. Beautiful.
Don't you have that down in your basement right now? Oh no,
He that was given to him too.
Oh, okay. I thought that.
Yeah, that was done for him. My dad got the buffalo skull, and it was a huge bison skull, and that was a lot of fun. I do have pictures of that.
Maybe I saw pictures of it because it seems like that's. Or do you have some other artifact like that down in your basement of some sort of like buffalo thing, right? Or am I absolutely going off the rails?
I have two cow skulls out on the deck that I was going to do some artwork on.
Okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I don't know. Mike, don't you have dead bodies in your basement too? I mean, I thought I could have swore you had dead bodies down there, you know?
Over the many plethora of decades that this house has been here, who knows what's buried down there?
Yeah, they don't call you. They don't call you Michael Wayne Gacy for nothing, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, does that answer all of your?
Well,
your
this is interesting. This is interesting. Well, do you have any questions for me on art stuff before we get into the ghost conversation?
Your artwork?
Yeah, anything? I mean, I don't want to come across of just a careless, I don't give a crap. I just draw things.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay, fine.
No.
I
know the main question that I have is when are you going to figure out, because you don't even know what you're going to do for a project yet.
I don't. I keep. Well, at one point I thought I had it narrowed down to 3, but I keep thinking of other things. I get a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've got a few requests. But I want to think of something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, obviously interesting. That was one of the dumbest statements ever. Most dumb statements ever. But I have got requests for Bigfoot drawings of some sort. Right. And I'm like, what angle? How do I want to take that? You know, how do I want to interpret that? You know, I don't want to just draw a still of Patty from the Patterson film, you know, and stuff.
Right. You could actually put some humor in it and have him leaning his back against a tree taking a shit.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Great big Bigfoot dump.
That's the next meme for you right there. Yep.
And it's such a big dump that it looks like he's sitting on it.
Yeah, exactly. I like that idea. Bigfoot poo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, now we know why Bigfoot smells so bad.
Yeah, no, that smells like Bigfoot's dick.
He shits on himself and he urinates all over his fur.
Well, just think about it, man. Sometimes they eyewitnesses describe him as having some eyewitnesses describe him as having very long, shaggy hair. You know, it's like some of that stuff gets stuck. You know,
nobody's going to be there trimming the hair off his ass.
No.
I mean, this shit's going to get stuck there.
I mean, that might be maybe that's considered some sort of aphrodisiac of some sort for big feets. You know,
the big feet aphrodisiac. They wave their asses at each other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dogs sniff each other's butts. Maybe Bigfoot do it. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see the consistency of that dung on your butt fur.
Right, exactly.
That's how I'm going to choose my woman.
I kind of like that one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I see you've been eating wheat husks and corn. You got to chew better.
I know. Well, even if he did chew, it wouldn't help with that corn. That's for sure. I wish corn was nutritious, man. There's nothing to it. It does nothing for you. It doesn't.
But it tastes so darn good.
That's the thing. It tastes great, but it does nothing. It's like,
but it comes out so much the same way it went in that you could.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to go any further than that.
It does nothing.
It just, yeah.
I mean, your body doesn't even digest it, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, holy
Anyway.
shit. Yeah, we better get started here, Mike.
Yeah, we've rambled quite
Yeah.
a bit more than what we have lately.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Our patrons, they appreciate that, I think. So.
Yeah, well,
And we love all you guys, by the way. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been over a year since we've been doing this crazy Patreon thing. It hasn't exactly exploded by any means,
yeah.
but we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to keep on doing it because we have fun, and we have we have the slight hope maybe after the Jericho appearance when that's published,
Yes.
maybe we'll get a boost there. You never know. But
we'll get some listeners off of Chris Jericho's back.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, right, exactly. Again, if you're listening to this right now, help spread the word. Tell people. Give it a shot for 1 month. Right now, we have that limited offer. So 1 month offer. If you sign up for $5, you can have a choice of one of my prints, for God's sakes. And I usually sell these for $30. So you can have it for $5 plus all the content on the Patreon page. I think that's a good deal, but maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. It's
we
worth
need
a
to
shot.
do something special. I don't know if a perk type thing or with these episode themed artwork that you and I are doing.
That's
and
what I'm
if
saying.
it works over well, then
Yeah.
I'm willing to do it again.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely, man. Hey,
if
Mike.
people like it, we'll do it again.
If you... Okay, no, back up here. I'm telling myself to back up. First off, and I think we all know how you're going to answer it. Is it possible, in your mind, Mike, for the living to have a conversation, a literal conversation with a ghost?
Absolutely. I don't even hesitate to answer that question.
I didn't think you would. So, like a very lucid, clear conversation.
Right. And I'm not talking like sitting down on the couch together for like an hour and passing time talking
and learning about each other. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, something meaningful, something, sentences, words, yes or no type things.
Oh, okay. That's good that you said that. Because I think you and I are on the same wavelength here, is that it's okay. We both subscribe to the idea that it takes a quote unquote ghost a hell of a lot of energy and effort to try and make us hear him or her.
That's right.
And that's why, you hear you hear the skeptics, you hear the people who mock it, say like, why do they always say and talk in just like one word answers and get out and no and all that stuff. Well, that's kind of why, because it's hard. It's difficult. Maybe Mike, through meditation, maybe you can get clearer or longer answers, maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
More detailed answers.
Yeah. I think if it's a face-to-face type of a conversation, or, if you're there with an entity or whatever and having a conversation, getting answers or a little bit of back and forth banter could be limited, but if you're talking with a spirit, if you're a psychic with that kind of a energy that's coming from you, and I think that the entity would be feeding off.
Oh, Mike froze up on me again because he's thinking so hard. The psychic energy froze up our Zoom meeting. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. You're back.
Yeah. Did you catch all that I said, or did I?
Nope, you'll have to repeat it because you froze up for about 10 seconds or so.
Okay. Well, what I was saying was that, the limited of a person, face to face with a ghost, having a conversation or getting yes or no answers or whatever, the limited part of that. But then if you have the psychic ability to speak with or get answers or questions or have that conversation psychically, I think you're going to get more of a conversation. Like if you take the energy that the spirit has, plus the energy of the psychic and what they can do and read, there's just going to be a whole lot more changing of information there and conversation. I mean, I get that.
Yeah, I absolutely get that. because it, or, you could even, the psychic could even, and again, not saying necessarily believe in all these psychics and stuff, but I think legit ones with legit abilities, they can, here's that word, Mike, ascertain quite a bit from very
Yes.
little,
And can delineate between the two.
Very good. They can absolutely ascertain and delineate. So, that's actually on the bottom of a psychic job application. Can you ascertain? Check. Can you delineate?
Can you delineate? Check.
So yeah, I think it's I get you. I like that one. I like the idea. Have you watched Kids in the Hall yet, Mike? Very briefly. Have you watched the new season?
I have not.
Don't feel bad again. Don't feel bad. I haven't either. Bridget and I have been waiting to watch it. It's on Amazon. Amazon Prime.
Yeah. See. I do have that.
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah. So.
I got to re-sign up for Netflix so I can get Stranger Things.
Oh,
I went onto there.
Yes.
The other night, and it said, "Would you like to re-sign up for Netflix?" I guess I lost it at one time or another.
Wow.
Probably when my bank account was
maybe
drained, and because I was having it taken right out of my account, and they tried and didn't get it, so they shut me down.
Well, and also
I can redo it though.
The subscription price went up for Netflix too. So
really, to what?
Oh gosh, what is it? Well, I thought it went up to $20, but I could be
Really?
wrong. Yeah, it was. That's why they lost millions of subscribers a couple months ago.
Well, then I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to get
but
Stranger Things.
Well, that's the only way you can get it, unfortunately.
I
man.
know.
But
oh well.
I might not be completely up to date on that. Maybe
I'll check into it.
Yeah. Okay. Again, conversations with the ghost. We're reverting back to our rambling days. I kind of like it.
I know. It's like nonsensicast radio.
Yeah, Macy agrees. That's her signal of approval. Have you, and Mike, and throughout your life and all your paranormal experiences, do you think you've ever had, in the most remote sense, have you ever had a quote unquote conversation with a ghost?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I'll work on that though.
Do you feel like you've ever heard like a message somehow? And not that you could reply to it, but did you ever feel like something was said to you?
You mean a specific message meant to me or something said to me?
Yeah. Even if you got like even if it was like a feeling that you interpreted as a message being sent to you. Again,
I'm sure I've had that, but I can't think of.
Right. I know.
I know in that house in Park Rapids that I lived in, I remember standing there. I was home alone and standing in the bedroom getting dressed or something. And I heard a very faint whispering just close by my right ear.
Okay.
I mean,
I think I remember
nothing.
I
couldn't delineate what words were being said or ascertain
yeah.
what was being said, but definite whisper, definite female, but so soft. I mean, I couldn't make any words out, but yeah.
Now, we'll take a time travel excursion here shortly, and then we'll come back and we'll just kind of take on the roles here of I'm going to have a conversation with you, Mike, and you're going to take the role as a ghost, okay?
Yeah.
But
I'll
first,
do my best.
I know this is literally spur of the moment stuff. But we're having fun with it.
Just don't ask me if Elvis is over here somewhere.
Right. I know. Well, we kind of went on a rant on Elvis on the last episode. Now I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Now I got Elvis stuck in my brain. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is there any question, like the question to end all questions, like if you sat down, Mike, just theoretically here, you sat down and you were talking with the ghost, anything, and be serious here, anything that you would ask, what would be the most important thing that you, Mike Carbno, the paranormal poster boy himself, what would be most important to you to ask?
Ask a ghost?
Yes.
About anything like...
Anything, yeah. And again, don't ask him if Elvis is there, or anything like that.
What would I ask a ghost?
And
have you met the Jesus?
Okay, see, well, you're taking kind of the humorous approach there. I get it. I know. I put you on the spot all the time. Like, I know I do. And so I get you're kind of killing time a little bit, but that's understandable. Understandable. I mean, I don't think you would ask anything corny like "What's the meaning of life?" or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing pops in your brain though, like what that you would sincerely like, or would you be just
Are
kind
the
of
ghosts
overwhelmed?
of dinosaurs there? Have you seen my dog?
That's all I was just going to ask. Have you seen Lassie, my dog? Have you seen Bandit? What does Bandit say? Okay.
Have you seen Grace?
My grandma?
She's been dead for 30 years.
Oh, I know exactly.
Grace.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Here. They want you
So
to
what's the
say
matter
Grace.
with you?
The blessing.
Jesus did the room clear. What else we got on that one?
You
Fix the dual post.
You couldn't hear a dump truck if it drove through a nitroglycerin plant.
Hello, everybody. I should say it.
I should say it.
She wrapped up her goddamn cat.
I know.
God, we could do this forever.
I know exactly.
Is Rusty still in the Navy?
Is your house on fire?
I love car rides. Anyway, we could do this forever. So, moving along.
Don't throw me down, Clark.
Yeah. Is your house on fire?
Yep. That's good. That's good. We're killing time here, everybody, until the time travel excursion comes up. Well, it's a quote. It's a hell of a quotable movie. I mean, my gosh.
Oh God, the whole thing.
I mean, my lord.
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's. I love it. Love it. Good
anyway.
stuff. Well, time traveling excursion is coming up, Mike. So
I see that it popped up on my screen too.
Yeah. Shall we take an early one? It says we have 9 minutes. Take an early one, and I'll call you back, and then we'll
plunge into it.
We'll plunge into it. Sound like a plan?
I should say it.
You should say it. Okay, Aunt Bethany. Until next time. All right, Mike, I'll send you an invite shortly, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, hold on, boys and girls. We need to take apparently it's the nuke alert. Here we go. And we are back after yet another successful time traveling excursion. Okay, co-host with the ghosts, paranormal poster boy.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure. No pressure.
None.
Are you able to put yourself in the mindset of a ghost? I'm a ghost.
I will give it my best.
And again, you don't have to, do any deep, serious meditating here. We're just throwing out stuff here. Now, what you would truthfully say as someone who has passed. Whoa, yeah. See, Macy is interested as well. That frightened me. Holy cow. She seemed ornery there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your little face.
Crazy right there.
Yeah, your thing and behind it'll be your left shoulder there. That spooked me out, that thing right there. Nope, you're blocking it with your left shoulder right now. What is that thing? Nope, the other way. Go the other way. Go the other way. That thing right there. That looked.
That right there. That's King Kong. That's a big, very large Funko Pop.
I was going to say that it has to be like a weird alien looking King Kong or something. 'Cause I thought it looked like a creepy alien head.
Yeah, that's King Kong, and then right next to it is Godzilla. Actually, you can only see like the face of the head. Then my 1960s Universal Monsters model kits above it. The Mummy and Dracula and the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Did you say Nutra?
I did.
Okay, well, the first question I want the first thing, I'm sitting down, I'm talking with the damn ghost here, okay? I'm blown away. I'm like, this is actually happening. I'm somehow communicating. Am I doing this vocally? Is it somehow being done telepathically, psychically? And, I guess it could be any of those. Any number of those, whatever is easiest for me and the participant, the ghostly participant. Obviously, the first question I would scream would be,
"Hey, what happened?"
And then I would think about it for a little bit because I would wait for the answer. So, Mike?
My simple reaction to that would be, I died.
Well, actually, this would be the exact excursion of it, or not. This would be the exact sequence of events right here. I'd ask,
"Hey, what happened?"
Then I'd hear, whoop, And timing is everything. It didn't work. Damn it. I'd ask.
Hey, what happened?
There. It wasn't funny, but there you go.
Yeah.
Uh,
There you go.
there you go. Then, of course, the next question, the very important question would be.
What, did you shit yourself or something?
Yeah, so I don't think.
No.
Oh, Igor says no.
No.
And finally, I'd be haunted by this damn apparition. I'd be haunted by this presence, and I would just put my foot down and simply ask.
What do you want from me?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, Mike, sincerely. That didn't work as well as I was hoping it would work, but that's okay. Yeah, Macy didn't like it either. So was that okay, Igor?
No.
I don't think so. First question that pops in my brain, it sounds cliched. Where are you?
I'm stuck in another region between one place and another.
Is that,
Darkness and light. Light and darkness. There are stones and rocks of fire, heated brimstone. Below me, there is light and angelic singing above me.
did you just say blow me?
Somewhere in the middle are doves flying. That's no.
No.
Mhm.
No.
Mhm.
No. No.
I can tell the Mike's taking this seriously. No, that's fine.
Where am I?
Yeah, what pops if you were I can just go with what you believe, Mike, and
What
how you
comes
would
to
feel.
mind is
Yeah.
when I was much younger, there were times when I was extremely happy in a certain place, a certain time. The weather was a certain way. The atmosphere, the clouds, the day, perfect day. That's what it is here all the time. If that's what you wish, and you could lay on the bank of a stream, no bugs. You're just watching the clouds go by. It's like Earth, but there's nothing that you've ever experienced like this because it's taken to just a totally another level. But then, if I wish, I can put myself in a tin roofed building with windows all the way around and enjoy a thunderstorm with light rain and a nice breeze coming through some of the windows that are screened. Some of your
Interesting.
favorite things that you want to experience, you can think it and it'll happen. That's what I do every day.
And that, honest to God, I think that's what you, Mike, believe. Am I wrong when I
I
when
wish
say that?
that could be my heaven.
It's almost like wherever you envision yourself, that's what it is.
Whatever perfect moments in your life have been where you're your happiest and the things that you enjoyed the most, you can experience them anytime you want to. Only, like I said, it'll be like 100 times better and more intense and more enjoyable. And it just,
Here's a loaded addition to that question. Do you have to basically pass the moral ethical test while you are alive as a physical human during this existence to be allowed to do that when you pass over
a moral ethical test?
Yeah, as in, like, do you have to be a good person in order to be able to do this on the other side? Because when you said that, Ted Bundy, his favorite thing to do was to murder young women. So I don't want to think. I hope that he's not doing that wherever he is, in his mind. You know what I mean?
The life beyond is so completely different than what people ever imagine. It's not a matter of there's punishment, but it's a punishment that is in your own mind that you have to deal with. It's the punishment is you.
Oh, and they froze up again a wee bit. Mike's deep thoughts are
Level of pure enlightenment. And what's that?
You froze up a little. The last thing I heard was level of pure enlightenment. So I lost you for about 5 seconds before that.
Okay. Yeah. You might have to work your way up to that. And
Okay.
as a learning experience with each level, But
because we did say this, we did talk about that with Chris Jericho.
mhm.
How it was alleged, written in that school paper, the Seattle college paper, Puget Sound paper, that's what it was, where people who have been claiming to interact with the spirit of Ted Bundy claim that through a Ouija board, they received the message from Ted that he was in his hell because he can see all these beautiful young girls, but he cannot touch them, he cannot hurt them, he cannot do anything to them, and that is his hell.
Mm-hmm.
Because he cannot do it.
Because the life that he lived, he had to learn from what he did. And, the hell that he put on people, he wasn't learning anything from that spiritually, of course.
Great point.
But
Absolutely
to
not.
experience his own hell is what it takes for him to learn and reach his way and work his way to a higher level.
I think I won't go on a tangent about him, but I think it's such a joke, and it's interesting to watch that final interview he gave with Dr. Dobson, where Ted at that point, Dr. Dobson was an evangelical, he was a part of the Reagan administration where there were the total anti-pornography parts. It was this whole spiel that they were all about. Was it Reagan or was it George Bush? Maybe it was both, but George Bush Sr. Anyways, and so this Dr. Dobson had an agenda. He clearly had an agenda that he wanted to interview Ted as proof that this is what porn can do to people. Ted Bundy was addicted to porn, and it turned him into a serial killer. That's what Dr. Dobson's agenda was, essentially.
Well, of course.
But it's a joke because Ted at that point was claiming, and you can see it in his face too when he says that he's sort of found comfort, because this interview was the night before he was going to be executed, and he says he's not looking forward to it. Obviously, it's no fun. Doesn't want to die, but he's found comfort in the Savior Jesus and being saved by Jesus Christ and the love and the comfort from Jesus. And it's like, shut up, dude! You are such a fake right now. Yeah. You are such a coward. And if you even remotely tried to pray to Jesus, it's just because you are a coward and you're just desperate for anything. So I want to believe that there is no such thing as what you described, Mike, for people who are evil on this earth. But maybe I'm evil by saying it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is everybody savable? No. Is everybody savable, Mike? Is everybody savable somehow? We're really going off on a tangent.
It might take many, many lifetimes to do that.
Yeah, that's a great answer. They might have to be reincarnated as a bug and make their way up. You know what I mean? All right, Mike, another question.
There are old souls on this planet that have lived many lives, and you can see that and feel it in their human life if they're at that level.
Do you think you're an old soul, Mike, or a young soul?
I think I started as a young soul when I was a young child, and then I think I grew into an old soul throughout my 60 years so far.
You're on the accelerated path.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I've been. I don't want to say and make it sound like I'm at to this high level, because that's not for me to say. But I believe that I know I've reached a certain spirituality that I've learned things over a period of lifetimes and over a period of my lifetime. I don't know.
Okay, Mike, Ghost Mike, question number 2 for you. And these are very brief, simple questions because we have to keep it brief.
No, we don't go to the bathroom anymore.
Okay. Damn it. Shit, there goes my best one. All right.
No need to pee.
And you can answer this, interpret it any way you want.
Okay.
Can you feel?
Can you feel?
Can you feel? I'm talking to you, the ghost.
You mean like physically and
any way you interpret it?
Emotionally and
any way you interpret it. Can you feel?
Deeper than what you ever could when you were alive.
I like that answer. That'd probably blow me away if I heard that one. I mean, any number of ways too. It's like every physical sensation is just amplified.
Yeah, all of your senses are heightened into a glorious just experience. Yeah.
Now, I hope, like, if you were a sad, depressed person who took his own life, that your depression isn't amplified 1,000 times over.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But I'm getting a
gotta be a
vibe from you.
difference.
I'm getting the vibe from you, Mike. Mike, the person, that no matter your status in this physical existence, it can't help but improve when you transition to the next state, the next level of existence. Am I right? Is that
exactly.
okay to stay it that way?
Yeah, there's a huge difference between physical and non-physical. Being physical is an extremely painful thing.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell yourself about it.
Being beyond that, you don't have that anymore. You have you don't have that. You just don't have it.
So definitely, I would think, and tell me if I'm putting words into the ghost's mouth, that like such positive emotional feelings of like love and happiness, those are 1,000 times greater than they were during this lifetime.
Absolutely, because you don't have the physical that weighs it down. I mean, you don't have everything stuck in this body that it just minimizes everything.
I was going to say, does it kind of limit it?
Yeah, when you don't have a body, you're a free, like a being of light. I mean that it's expansive. It's not like a 5'8", 140-pound person.
Who are you talking to?
Nothing. Nobody.
That's not.
In general.
You
Just in general.
You made me taller there. You made me an inch taller, so I appreciate that. Okay, how about this one? Well, that one's going to kind of... maybe I'll go back to that one. I'll skip this one then. I'll say this. Okay, Mike, Ghost Mike. What are you? This is what I'm asking. I'm conversing with you through the veil. I'm on Earth still. I'm trapped in this physical shell, and I'm hearing you somehow. Somehow I'm hearing you, and I ask, what are you?
A being of pure energy and thought. Pure, a light being. No physical boundaries, just energy. Energy, a conscious energy with that is expanded beyond anything living can possibly be.
Are you aware of your former physical self at that point?
Absolutely. That's the where you take the lessons that you learned from your physical being and carry it on.
So that kind of goes back to my question I skipped over. I had written down, can you remember?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're on the other side, Mike, Ghost Mike, can you remember your physical existence? Or is that so far below what you have become that you no longer need to remember?
Because it's still part of your consciousness and of your being and your energy. That's all energy that doesn't quit. It doesn't go away. You retain that. And when I leave here and become that being of light and energy, I swear to you, Patrick, that I will remember that I said I'm going to come back to you and slap you in your face. I won't forget that.
And how are you going to do that? How are you going? That's a question.
All I have to do is think it, the thought,
and then I will feel the physical sensation of it.
Then I can be there to actually do it and stand in the corner and laugh at you.
So will it be
float in the corner?
Will it be you doing it, or will it just be you thinking it so much that I feel the sensation of it? Like, are you creating the sensation of it? You're not actually doing it. You're creating.
I think I would actually be doing it because.
Okay.
How else would I have my fun?
Well, you said everything's amplified over there, so I can just
Yeah.
I can just hear you 1,000 times in a row, just over and over,
Yep.
over and over, over
Between
and
each
over.
one, there's a slap.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then
I'd-
and then one big laugh in the end and a snuggie.
Oh, God. Yep. And then this is just me over and over.
No,
Now.
no, no.
Ah, Lord. Anyways, okay. Oh, this one might be a little tough, but I'm interested. Everything I think of being a fairly tough question, Mike just bam answers it just quickly. Can you, Mike the ghost, can you die?
You're beyond death. And besides, there isn't such a thing as death or dying, only transition.
Okay, me, Patrick the human, I'm going to try and rephrase that. Patrick, who's still the human in the human form. I'm saying die as the way that we are understanding it, the way that we're interpreting it. Whereas when we die, we do transition.
Mm-hmm.
The-
Your physical form
The
dies.
physical form dies. Now you have transitioned from that initial physical form. Can you still transition even further? Can you
Yes,
keep
but that's
going
not
up that?
dying.
But that's how we are interpreting it. Okay, that's how us humans are still writing it, or I shouldn't say writing it. Well, we can
think
write
of
it. We
this
can
way.
say it. We can do whatever. Yeah.
Think of it this way. In your physical form, don't even think of it as your physical form dying. You're shedding that form
Mhm.
and finished with it, and you transition on to where I am now, so to speak.
Is there an ultimate destination where we cannot go any further?
Still working on that.
Is
There is the source. There is the source. There is the point of the very beginning that where we came from, which is long before our physical existence. And we're working our way back to that after learning all the lessons that we did with every lifetime, every physical lifetime, every transitioned energy form, as far up as you can go. But how far does that go, and how many existences, terms of existence, do you need to go through?
Mhm.
That's still a question.
So I'm asking you, Mike the human, right now.
Okay.
Do you think that there is that peak of enlightenment that we cannot go any further, or is that part of the journey that we are always constantly improving and learning, and there is no peak?
I don't think there's that returning back to the beginning, I think, but
Explain that a little bit too, by the way. What do you mean by returning?
I believe we all come from a beginning spiritually. I mean, there's so many more before our physical existence, just like there's so many after our physical existence.
Mhm.
And we leave that very early first existence to go to the physical existence to learn what we need to learn that we can't learn unless we have a physical body. Okay, so
Mhm. We can't learn suffering, we can't learn pain, and we can't learn
right, you can't learn
stuff that you need to in order to
Right.
improve yourself, basically,
and in order to advance further, you have to learn and feel
to understand it.
and know that.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're
Maybe
kind of going. So what you're saying is that maybe our destination is to return to that ultimate purity that we first originally were.
right,
Maybe is that kind of what?
and even more advanced because of what we've experienced through each existence.
Oh, so every cycle through, you're even better, so to speak. Every time you start over.
What you didn't learn before, you'll learn coming through again, possibly.
I like that idea.
Energy doesn't die. Energy doesn't stop existing. And I mean, science and physics know that as fact.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We are energy that doesn't continue or doesn't cease to exist. we just have to keep going, and the further you're going, the more you're going to advance as you learn
Mm-hmm.
and experience things in a physical life that we couldn't before, and then we experience things after a physical life that we could not experience before that, and then it keeps going. I mean, I think you just keep developing.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
well, like you said,
what
I mean,
that
why?
final goal is, I mean, that's
And if
it's
we're
infinite. It's who, it's a hard thing to wrap your mind around, whether you're answering for as a human being, a physical human being, or something that is beyond the physical and that knows more. It's I don't know.
yeah, no, it's I love it. It's a mind bender, that's for sure.
After we leave here, I think we are entitled to, or not entitled to, but subjected to a lot more information that we never had before. There's an understanding that's like, it's like, you go into that, how can you get into the next chapter of a book and you're learning more just from reading it. You go into the chapter after that,
Yeah,
because and know what you had from the previous chapter, but you don't know what's in the next chapter until you get there, because you're so busy learning and experiencing what you need to during that chapter that you're in.
does
that make sense in any way?
No, that was a great way of putting it. It makes perfect sense.
I just pulled it out of my ass. I don't know.
This one might be
but it's how I feel.
Stinky. This might be kind of a tough one to answer. So are we... Well, what do you think about this? I'm not going to say are we, because it's just a thought that popped in my brain. Is there a danger, any sort of danger, if let's go with the idea that we are all, we continue to evolve, quote unquote, evolve spiritually, and as maybe Mike says, instead of having this specific peak enlightenment stage, maybe we start over, we go back to that, for lack of a better term, infantile spiritual purity, kind of. But we're smarter, we're more, we're improved, we're better, we're more spiritually evolved. And let's say all of us continue to do this an infinite amount of times to the point where we're almost, dare I say, perfect. Is there a danger in attempting to achieve this perfection? Is there a danger in continually approving? Because to me, if there's an infinite amount of cycles and we are continuously improving on each cycle, that can only eventually lead to, dare I say, perfection. Do you see where I'm getting on that at all? And if so,
I do.
Is there a danger in that? If perfection was real, is that necessarily something we want? That's kind of tough, isn't it? Talk about wrapping your head around. Yeah. Wrapping, trying to get a grip on that one. What do you guys, I want to know what the listeners think about that one.
Yeah. Because I'm coming up with ideas, but that doesn't mean that that's far from what could be true. I mean, I don't know. It's just,
that's something that I think I would have to meditate on, or I would have to think about an answer to that one, because you would think, again, there's that word again, theoretically, you would think that perfection would be great if we were all perfect, if we lived in a perfect existence, spiritually.
And there's nowhere left to go.
There would be nowhere else to go, and it almost gets to the point of like, okay, do we just stop then? Is that the end?
Well, or is that a point where it is the end, but your existence there is you're at a point where you have no desire or need to go any further.
Oh,
you are at a point where you can have like constant it's hard to put words into it, but you're at a constant sense of oh man,
you're satisfied,
perfect bliss or whatever, perfect satisfaction.
Yeah,
where it doesn't matter if you even move or
Right.
have another thought. Everything is
It's just there.
infinitely set perfect the way it is, and you're beyond needing anything else. But I mean, for us in our physical form right now, that's hard to comprehend because how can you just not need more?
It's impossible to consider. It really isn't.
Right.
I mean,
right
it really
now,
is. I mean,
it is impossible because we don't. It's beyond our capability to understand that form of existence.
Well, Mike, even if we all quite literally lived the perfect lifestyle, we were all health nuts, so to speak. We did just everything to perfection as best as we could from the moment we were consciously able to make our own decisions. You're still going to die. The physical body's still going to end. You know, we're trying to seek this physical perfection that even if you think you may achieve it, it doesn't matter because that quote unquote physical perfection will end. So
I don't know if that's an actuality or what.
Man,
I don't know.
What do you guys think? I want to hear. We have to check out and say ta-ta for now. But man, Mike, we got up to about an hour here. This has been a great flipping conversation. Thank you.
So many questions and so many more things.
I know.
What I do want to finish
please
by
do.
saying,
yes.
Okay, like say how, science and physics, whatever they say, that the universe is infinite and it keeps expanding.
Yeah. Yep.
What's beyond where that's expanding?
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know that.
What's beyond the spiritual being and that expansion, that level? Yeah. There's no way we can know. And there may be no way we can know in our next existence of spirituality beyond our physical reality. I mean, we're going to know more, but are we even going to know then where the end is, or you just keep working towards it? I mean, or is the whole thing just a joke and you only go so far and it's like, nope, you're done. Go have a seat in the back, exactly. And we'll get to you a little later.
Yeah, maybe. Try not to fall off the cliff. We've said this 1,000 times, Mike. It's impossible for us to physically mentally comprehend the idea of an infinite but yet expanding universe. I mean, I get it. I mean, you get all the physicists out there and they'll sit, Michio Kaku would sit down and explain it to us in simple ways so our minds can grasp it and stuff. But it just that concept itself, it contradicts itself. I mean, if it's infinite, it shouldn't be growing because it's infinite,
Yeah.
If it was growing, it implies that there's an end to it.
Yeah.
And infinity doesn't have an end. So I don't. Right. It's tough for me to grasp that one.
If there's an end, it's an end that we can't comprehend, and we won't know until we're beyond where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's probably
unless you can reach a physical, mental, spiritual existence, living now, and breaking through spiritually and getting a hint maybe, but
it's
if you reach that level, I don't know, man. Physical, I don't know.
Well, what better spot to end this one, Mike? We're both just kind of like our brains are just a little frazzled right now. I think. Well, mine is and stuff. Well, thank you for taking on the persona of a ghost, Mike. I hope that was fun for you for a second.
Yeah, I'm playing dead.
Yeah. Oh no! You're not playing dead. You're playing enlightened. How's that sound?
Yes. Yeah. That sounds better.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has, no joke, this has been a blast. I've had a great time. This has turned out to be a very cool conversational episode, Mike, and I appreciate you making the time to chat with me tonight, buddy. Oh, but he froze up. Perfect timing.
Man, hopefully it was at least worth $1.
Yeah, right. It is. Well, Mike, can tell you before you freeze up again, what do our Patreon family members need to do, buddy?
Just peace out, everybody.
Gosh, I thought he froze up for a second. Bye-bye.